Welcome, my friends. Happy New Year to all of you. I'm John Silva, and today I'm gonna show you the first tutorial that you're gonna learn for today. Let's get started. So I will show you some of the principles that I made these sketches, and then how I turn on this into this 3D modeling using Blender. I've used my beginner sculpting modeling to help people like you to get the best advantage while creating your stuff. If you want to be creative, if you want to be an illustrator with really creative skills, you must follow me here. You must watch this video completely. This video is a pre-recorded video because I'm still on road. I'm going to visit my families, but this is the best way that I can deliver to you my tutorials to help you, to assist you in your journey as artist. Okay, so enjoy. Really, here I've been traveling a little bit to know here Brazil. Here is me just traveling, and I'm just happy and excited to start this year full of energy finally. So one thing that I want to do for today, just to be quick as possible for you, you don't have time, I understand. We're gonna make a design like this one. All right, guys, one of the important tip that I want to give you, this is a job that I'm doing for an awesome client of mine. It's about wireframe. Wireframe, it is this kind of pink line that I made. It is the line that is responsible to build the shapes. You can see the forms in 2D. This is an ability that I'm doing a lot in my designs, because when you want to give more let's say dimensions, real dimensions, it's important that you do that. So let's get started. All right, let's get started. Here I will start with this character. Just a disclaimer, right? This is not a live stream video. This is a pre-recorded. At the moment I'm doing a trip to meet my family. So here we go. I will copy this image. All right, you can also do the same. I will paste this image into the vectorized club, all right, on here on our chat. And I want to give a welcome to Trevor. He's a new member here on the vectorized club. So just to give you this insight, okay, because at the moment I'm using also Affinity and Blender to build my things. All right, so here I'm just pasting the image so you can see, understand about this form. And of course, all right, you can go and do the vector directly here on Affinity, or you can build the shapes in Blender, and then you can transfer it onto Affinity. And why we are doing this, I will explain more as we progress on here, because I want to get into the shapes, all right, which is going to be exclusively better using 3D app. So here we go. I'm going to apply here in this cube. Let's say that you start here, Shift A, cube, then I will press here this modifier and then generate. I will go to the subdivision surface. Here I'm going to add something like 3 levels. As you can see on here, we're gonna have this form, and then I'm going to press here apply, as you can see. So after that, our shape now contains more polygons. Then I'm going to switch here to the sculpt mode, as you can see. Okay, but before we do that, let's duplicate this. I will duplicate with Shift D, okay, and I'll just place this shape on here. This is going to be the head, and this will be the body. All right, congratulations if you are doing this with me. Here we go. I'm going to go to the sculpt mode, and then I will just use the grab tool. All right, this tool right here. This tool is going to, let's say, change the shape. Let me activate this mirror, and then I will move this more to the front. What you need to notice is on here on this image, can you see that there is a kind of belly. This is the shape that I want to accomplish at this moment. I'm going to make this a bit more kind of bigger. Imagine like an egg shape, you know. I will rotate a little bit more, as you can see, a shape like this. Very good. For now, let's keep like this, and here in this shape I'm going to activate as well the X mirror, because if I change one side, it's gonna change another. Very good. And I'm just going to make the mushroom head shape, as you can see. Very simple. I'm going just to make this a bit bigger. I'm just using, guys, one single tool, which is called what? The grab. Just like this one. This is what we want. We want to understand the shape, you know, because most people are beginners in drawing, and they struggle to identify the shapes. It is really hard to to do the drawing from head. I'm just deforming a little bit here. I can remesh a little bit later, but for now let's keep something like this. I will increase the belly a little bit more, like if the belly or face, depends about what to identify. It's something personal. Here we go. It's becoming really nice. So if we go to this kind of mature preview, as you can see, we can add, as just a quick example, right? We can add a material like new here, this button. We can paint this to be kind of red, and this can be more pinkish, like skin tone color, something like this, you know. And about the eyes, we can, or you can simply add a cube and convert this cube to the subdivision surface, which is going to be available for you right here in this icon, and then go to generate and subdivision surface. Very good. And then I will make this in, can be 3 levels, which is good. Now let's make this to be in black, like that. This is just for us to pose the eyes, you know. Look at this. Let me pose this a bit better. Okay, for instance, as you can see, we have the wireframe already. This is exactly what I was planning during my sketch, because once you understand about these wireframes, it is the direction and the light is going to be and rely about these planes. So let me give you more examples so you understand much more about what I mean. So here we go. I'm going to go to the render. As you can see, there is no light there. That's why it is full dark, and I will insert a light. We can add here, can be the area. The area is fine. Let's add the area, and then I will just rotate this. I'm just using the rotate just to have this light on here. I will increase this power. Imagine this being a source, a light source. I will increase a bit more, something like this. Can you see, guys? This is very important. This is a kind of low poly. You can see these faces. Can you notice this? So it's a plane. The plane, it is responsible, let's say, to be a flat area that's going to reach directly from the light. That's exactly why we have this color here, and then we have this transition. This is, I call this as low poly. Of course, you can, let's say, add even more polygons by going here and generate, and then add more subdivision surfaces and increase this amount of polygons. And if you apply, you see here, let's apply, you see that we're gonna have much more polygons. This is called what? High poly. So more polygons, high poly. Few polygons, low poly. It's the exact same method that I use for vectorize, in things in 2D. Okay, fantastic. I hope that you are understanding. Leave the like, please, and it's going to support me to keep doing tutorials like this. I will go here in subdivision surface, and then I will increase more the subdivision. Okay, very good. As you can see, we have a light on here. I'm gonna change a little bit this color to something more like this. I really like this color. I can change something like this. Yeah, I will now rotate to another light going from back on here. Let's rotate. Okay, as you can see, we have two sources of light, and we're just make some adjustments. And then about the head, let's change this cap here, make this a bit more bold. I mean, I'm using, guys, only mouse for now, so feel free to use tablets, mouse, use what you have in your disposal. Here I'm gonna change a bit more, make this belly a bit more inflated. Alright, as you can see, we have here a little bit of expression. Alright, you can do that using sculpting, but if you do that, you need to remesh your design. Let me explain to you how that works. On here, we have these subdivisions. Alright, as you can see, it's still low poly, but the subdivision I need to apply in order to add more polygons. As you can see, we have more polygons. So if you want to go and add and sculpt, let's say, the mouth shape, what you need to do, let me grab here my tablet, because you need to have at least the pen tablet for the pressure. All right, so on here I'm going to remesh, press R of remesh, and then I will decrease this to something like that. Let me see, not too much and not too little. Yeah, here Ctrl R, and then Blender will kind of remesh this. Look, if I go to edit mode, it's going to be a lot of polygons, but for the sculpting you must have these polygons. Okay, and then on here what I'll do, it is to start to sculpt the face. But let me back here to this mode here, display, and about the mouth, let's do something simple, right? I want to make something simple, perhaps making smiling just like this. I'll add, there is the mirror happening here. Let me deactivate this. I will do something like that. We are adding a little bit of sharpness on here. Let me just switch this to sculpting. Yeah, here in this mode we are going to polish a bit more. I added this kind of hole, but I need to pinch a little bit this just to have a volume. Look, now it's becoming nicer. This is what we want. We want to make the mouth shape, and then I will add the inflate. Inflate is going to be responsible to make things a bit more bold, like this shape right here. Let me soft just to smooth, and look at this, very similar to our design there. And here on the head, I'm going just to make some small changes just to make it more consistent. On here, I'll zoom out just to see what you can improve. Perhaps I'm going to up this a bit more and make some small adjustments, making this to be like a mushroom cap. See below, because you see a bit better the perspective. Well, so far I think that we pretty much matched with the design. Of course, we have here the eyebrows. Eyebrows is up to you. You can simply duplicate the eyes that we made. Let me show you. If we kind of duplicate, we can change this one as well. Let's make this couple of changes. I'm using the edit mode. Alright guys, edit mode, and then press G to move, and then rotate with R, and then we're gonna have a much better result. I'm only using basic commands, where I also teach you on the Vectorize Club. We have a class in there, something like this. The eyebrows I will duplicate and then place on here, something like that. Fantastic. Let me see and check the reference. The eyes in this matter, it's a bit different from our reference. Let's go here in the render preview. Can you see our eyebrows? It is full black. I want to change this. I want to create a new material for this one, and then I will make this a little bit different. It can be something like that. Also, I'll remove this, click in the this icon, then open this material like this one. Now finally, it is time to show you a very awesome technique about how you can paint using sculpting. I will show you a very simple method recommended for the most experienced people that use Blender for sculpting purpose. This case, we're gonna use here, let's say, the material. Okay, you can go here, material. You're gonna have here these two screens. The first one, it is about the material node. I'll explain more as we progress on here. Remember, when I clicked before in this area, I've created this material. Do you remember? When you create this material, it's going to display here this standard principle BSDF, which is related to the color that you add on here. Alright, so basically what you are watching on here, it is being displayed in Blender in this area, which is a more friendly, it's more for beginners by selecting the color on here. So this side is a bit more advanced, but don't worry, I'll show you step by step. Now I'll press Shift A, then click here search, and then I will go here to color attribute. So remember, we have here two colors attribute. I'm going to use this one here, input color attribute, this one. Click here and then go here. So I will just select this color on here, alright, this one, and then I will move this color, can you see this small dot, onto our base color. So what just happened is that now I can paint this using the sculpt. Let me show you right now. If I go back here, that can be the sculpting mode right here, as you can see. So going to the sculpt as well in this area. Okay, I'm going to use this brush that's called paint. I've selected, as you can see, and then I will pick up here a color that can be this one. So I can now select and paint on here. Let me grab a color which is a bit stronger. Can you see that I'm painting? I'm just painting. So for you to preview in a better way, I recommend you to do this. Go here in this mode, which is called, you see here, viewport shading. Then click here in the studio, and then go to this option. Click here in studio, and then click in this one. So basically, by doing that, you are going to ignore the shadows, the match cap shadows that can bother your painting process. So we don't want to have the shadows, alright, at this moment. We just want to have a clean as possible. Alright, now I'm gonna make this a bit brighter color, something like that, and then I can kind of give some small strokes, as you can see on here. Good. And then I will grab here the pink to red, something like this. I will resize with F, press F to scale down your brush, and then you can paint a little bit the cheekies, something like this in one side and another side, something more like this. Very good. And here I will just, if you press shift, hold shift and X of X-Men, you can use the color picker. Let's make this a bit more yellow, not very much, but you can blend the colors. You can have very awesome results just by doing that. Let me soften this a bit more. You can reduce the flow on here, you know, like that. You also have the blend mode, like the Photoshop, so we can kind of have a more pinkish area around here. Let's apply here on the head, creating this pink area around this context. Hope that you are enjoying. Please leave the like, it's very important for this channel. So I'm going just to polish a bit more the mouth shape. As you can see, we are mixing the modeling with painting. At this moment, it's the first time that I do this on here. Let's apply now this for this cap. Again, go to the material, try to repeat, because it's only by repeating that you are going to add into your long-term memory, right? Okay, here we go. Where we can go, Shift A, press, search, input, color, attribute, this option, go here and then click in color. Of course, I need to start to appear here, right? The color, you must go here in the sculpt, in case that you don't have yet, and then I can add the color on here. Hold on. Yeah, colors now is showing right here at this moment. So now I'll paint. Let's paint here. Make sure to use the proper blend mode. I'm going to use here the studio match cap, this one, right, which is more clean. If you use this one, you're gonna have a bit the problems about having the shadows, and shadow is going to kind of disturb your painting process. So at the moment, let me bring this node onto here. Okay, now we did that, alright. Just explain, because if you want to display this, be able to display into your render here in render engine, you must bring this into your material. This is the only way that you can have this in your final results. And that's back in the sculpting right here, and then I start to paint everything in this cap here. Very good. Just to explain as well, if you try, let's say, hi John, I want to add some small circles like this. So if you want to have more and let's say better quality in your paintings, you need to make sure, let me deactivate the mirror here. You need to make sure to have more polygons, right? Here we don't have many polygons. It's a good amount, but it's not very like here. No, here we have a lot because of the mouth that we did, but in this area, let's now paint using the sculpt mode, right? I'm using sculpt mode and this brush paint, and here you can grab a color. Let me just not I don't cover let me bring me here. Whoa, I think it's better for this matter. And here we go. I'm going to paint. Let me increase the flow. I'm going to paint some circles. Can you see here is a bit pixelated, because if you want to have less pixel, what you need to do, it is to add more meshes, more polygons. Let's add something like this. Ctrl R, Shift just to smooth, hold Shift to smooth the polygons. And then now if we go to the paint brush right here, you now can have this result. By looking in our reference, we have a small circle in here, another over here. I'm using this time the tablet because of the pressure, something like this. Let's add another around here, and then you add as you want. Yeah, add a small one here, perhaps. Looks nice. This one I can, let's erase using Shift X to use a kind of color picker. So let's say I want to erase this area. Okay, that's fine. Shift X in this area just to repaint and remake the dots that you are doing, something like this. Let's add a small one perhaps on here. Something like this. Yeah, very nice. So here for the eyes, you know, if I go to the material, as you can see, the eyes is not having the black color because of the attribute. We are watching, you know, we are seeing this based on the color attributes. So if I go here on the render, as you can see, we're gonna have something like that. But of course, what I want to do it is to let me change this light to something a little bit different, or to something like that. Let's change here, can increase more. Also, just to let you know that you can use the another engine. All right, we can use here the cycles. It's a, let's say it's a better quality render engine. Okay, the mouth you cannot see very much because you basically you can paint this. I think that it's gonna be a bit better if you paint in black using the sculpt. Let's go here. I'm going to open this. Very good. And then I'm going to, let's use here the GPU. Of course, on cycles use always GPU. I'm gonna use the Eevee. Now let's paint here the mouth that we can see. Let's now go here. Yeah, good. Let's zoom a bit more. We can do something like this. For preview, right? It's not something to be crazily perfect. It's just for us to understand how it can work. And let's go back to the render, and here we go. I think that now it's much more visible. All right, here on the eyebrows we can add a bit, this to be a bit dark, or yeah, something more like this, or even remove if you don't like, depend about your taste. So on here, let's just tilt this head a bit more just to match with our design. Perhaps decrease. I really like. And here we go. Now we have the modeling done here using you know, Blender. I really love that. Let's increase here the roughness, but of course I must add more polygons here, like this. Let's apply. To apply, you must go to the edit mode. All right. Let's see. Then I'm going to change the roughness to something like this. Same for this one. I'm gonna add and apply. Very good. And add the shade smooth. Shade smooth, just to let you know, is going to make the low poly look to be more smooth. Basically, this is how that works. Then we have now our design, you know, created in 3D. Now it is time to capture the rendering. Let me show you how that works. First of all, you must have the camera in your setup here. Shift A, and then you're gonna see the camera. If you don't have the camera yet, you can create just by click on here. You're gonna see that Blender will create a camera for you. If you press F12 at this moment in your keyboard, you're gonna see that the Blender is going to render. But there is a trick that I use a lot, you know, most people use, which is this. Select the camera, press 0 in your keyboard, and you must go here in this let me see here, view, okay, this option view, and then click here in camera to view. Why we need to do this? Because after press 0 is going to have this preview, camera preview, right, on Blender here. Then we can move, we can kind of change our camera just like that, you know, just like this. As you can see, I'm just moving the camera. And then if I press F12 at this moment, look what's gonna happen. Blender is going to render our design in that way that we have posed the camera. Fantastic, isn't it? My friend, if you're enjoying this, please just leave the like and comment here if you're enjoying. Your opinion is really important for me. So here, what you're gonna do, it is just make some setups here for the camera output. For instance, we have the 16:9, you know, size, the ratio standard, but I want to do something a bit bigger. Let's apply here to be something like this, 2440, like this. Because when you press F12 to render, you know, we need to have a little bit of more resolution. We need to have more density of pixels because we want to export this, and then we want to bring this into Affinity to polish this design, you know, to make some paintings above, things like this. And this is a stage that you can take a look in your design and visualize what you can improve. Here's some tips. First, you need to justify the silhouette. If the silhouette is good enough, you can apply some techniques like this one. You can go here, then apply the single, and then apply this to being black. You know, then we're gonna visualize here this as full black because it's gonna be easier for you to see, you know, the silhouette. Here I can expand the size, you know, making this a bit large because I think that's gonna be better for the silhouette. Take a look on your concept that you have, you know, so you can visualize the result that you want. Here I'm going to tilt this a bit more to be something like this. Here we go. And then I'm going to switch this back to this match cap and attribute, or you can change on others, but here is just for preview. What really matters during the rendering, it is this option that's called viewport shading. All right, this viewport shading is responsible for the F12, you know, look. Awesome, very awesome. Let me just make this in different way, like this, very gamified. I love this kind of stuff, you know. If you take a look at my portfolio, you're gonna see a bunch of cute stuffs, very playful. This is what I do mostly as freelancer, you know. My job is game artist. That's why I do a lot of things similar to this. So here I'm going to move this perhaps up, and you can, you know, play around of the sculpting if you want. You can, let's say, hey, I want to increase more the depth of the eyes on top, here on top. You can do that, you know. You can just press I to inflate, and then you can kind of polish more your design if you want. Something like this, soft a bit more. Here we go. And then let's try here the Eevee rendering just to see how it's gonna look. Cycles. As you can see, you know, Eevee is going to bring a much better quality, but you can decide if you like this or more the Eevee look. So I'm changing here the light. Look how this changes a lot. This light that I have here on top, can you see this right here on top? We can change a lot this visual just by going on here. One thing as well that I've learned, you know, and I will let you know, I'm not the best guy, I'm not the very pro guy that teaches Blender. I'm beginner, but I'm happy with what I know for now that I can teach you. So we have the same language, you know, beginner to beginner, which is, this is what I like most. And here we have the output, you know, and we have the post-processing, okay, which is the here the color management. But what we want it is to make this render to have a bit more coloring. Okay, so as you can see, we have these options in the color management. So I want to change this to, let's keep this as a standard. Look, standard is gonna give us this result, but we can change this to have video contrast. We can have this high contrast. It's gonna be too much in my opinion, but look at the result that we got so far. It becomes more warm, more, in my perspective is better, you know, much better. This light, just to let you know, I've added a bit more warm color, but if you change this color to something blue, we're gonna have it more dramatic scene, but it's up to you, you know. So I'm trying to make this more daylight sunlight, you know, that's why I'm doing something like this. And also we can change the backlight that we have on here. You can select from the layers. We have few layers, all right, very few layers. Can move this to be more onto here and zoom this a bit more. You are seeing this a lot of noisy because of the cycles engine, because the cycles try to render in real time. This is what makes Blender what it is, you know, in this moment. So the Eevee, you don't have that noisy stuffs, but because as I explained it, the cycles is more realistic in terms of rendering. You can see the light bounce here in this area. This is what makes cycles very, very awesome. Now what I'll do it is to press F12, but before I do that, in output we're gonna go here, hold on, because just going to apply here in the render, you know, film and then transparent. By doing that, what you're gonna have, if you press F12, you're gonna have a very consolidated, you know, I'd say background in PNG, which means that it's gonna be transparent. For your information, which is gonna be important here during the render, all right, you can reduce the numbers of samples because it's too much the standard one. Let's make this to something like 2048. all right. And my friend, don't forget that you can download all this material inside of the Vectorize Club. I will leave the link on the comment section below. Don't forget to join me, alright? Finally, my friend, after something like 8 minutes, I got this result rendered. Again, it's going to depend about your computer, you know. So if it is taking too much of your time, try to reduce here. My best tip here to you is to reduce this number of max samples. All right, this is the thing that's going to kind of render much more times to reduce the noises. Okay, and this is what makes the image better. All right, the nice thing about this video being pre-recorded is that I can just cut this and save a lot of your time. After that, we need to go here on image, click here and then save as, and then you can save the image in your computer. Let's call this as mushroom vectorize. Now I'm gonna open the image exported from Blender, then I'll bring here into Affinity. After that, you can polish, you can you know, kind of vectorize if you want. You can improve more. This is not that I want to do with you, but I just want to hear from you. Okay, let me know the shot if you want to see me continue, if you want to see me polishing, if you want to see more digital paintings, or if you want to see another lesson from scratch using Blender. So this depends about your answer. I'll kind of ask on email as well if you guys want to continue this or want to start another one, because so far the result is great, but just in case that you want to have something more in depth. Thank you very much for your time, alright? And again, without your support I wouldn't be able to keep doing tutorials just like this, and your support is very important. If you are not on the club, join there, because it is only in there that I give full of my attention to the members, to what they need. I share my content, my material exclusively to the members, and here the channel it's open to the people. All right, so anyway, yeah, that's it for now. If you have any questions, please just let me know. I will answer you in my time, when I check the Telegram, or even here on the comment section of this YouTube channel. Okay, and I have a lot of plans to do this year, including learn more to help you, you as designer, illustrator, or 3D artist, to join me to learn much more, things that is going to boost your creativity. Because at the end of the day, what is really matter is to feel happy with what you do, with what you create. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in the next week. All right, so take care and bye bye, my friend.